Hello, everyone. I have a question. I was defining the word virtue, and Google's dictionary um, definitions from Oxford Languages says that it is behavior showing high moral standards. It is similar to goodness, righteousness, morality, ethicalness. I didn't know that was a word. Anyway, virtue is moral excellence. A virtue is a trait or quality that is deemed to be morally good and thus is valued as a foundation of principle and good moral being. In other words, it is a behavior that shows high moral standards, doing what is right and avoiding what is wrong. The opposite of virtue would be vice. So, my question is, what is the most virtuous thing you can think of to do on this earth right now? It's a pretty hard question if you ask me. So, this is the question that led me down the path to where I am now, in thinking that circumcision is one of the worst vices that plagues this earth. And stopping it is, in turn, one of the highest moral virtues. So, if I truly believe that stopping infant circumcision is one of the highest moral virtues there is, what does that line of thinking lead me to believe? It leads me to believe a lot of things. That, first of all, that there is evil in the world. Second of all, that one of the highest evils is present in our world today. And number three, most of the world isn't doing anything about it. In fact, most of the world is happy and intact and is not speaking out against circumcision at all. Even though America is arguably one of the most popular countries, I would say. And it is very well known that Americans are circumcised and the rest of the world is not. So it begs into question, what are we teaching our children about virtue? And if you ask me, it seems almost nothing. Because nobody is speaking out against circumcision other than a handful of maybe a couple thousand people around the world. I know Joe Rogan famously came out against circumcision and his audience is a few million. So I bet if you ask most of the world and you put them up to a microphone, they would say they would be against circumcision. But nobody's doing that. And so, I'm going to ask somebody who has the capabilities to go internationally and ask people whether or not they think circumcision is a bad thing or not. And whether or not, if they had the choice, to ban it worldwide and see what would happen. Most of the world seems fine, almost having no issues with their genitalia completely intact. So we just need testimony, really, from people who have been intact their entire lives and have been unaffected by circumcision. And then we need to compare that person to somebody who's been mutilated their entire life, and to people who've been mutilated in their adult stages. Because it seems that there are problems associated with both when you're mutilated as a baby and when you're mutilated as an adult. It seems that there are unique problems associated with both, although mostly they interlap. So I was interested in making this video because it begs into question the highest of moral standards possible amongst human beings on this planet. And so, that furthermore begs the question, what purpose or where does the efficacy of this video or my other videos lie in that sequence of highest of moral standards? So I need to learn how to place myself higher on that list of standards or virtues and become more virtuous in my videos. So, and in my personal life as well. So that leads me to the last question I have for you. What do you think is the highest of moral standards? I know that we've defined virtue, but what do you think is the highest virtue there is? And just a couple of examples include humility, charity, chastity, gratitude, temperance, patience, and diligence. Those are just a few examples of some virtues. So what do you think is the highest of virtues? And what do you think I should apply more in my videos and in my effort to become a higher moral person on this planet? And for you as well. You know, this isn't just a me journey. This is an us journey. So, I think that's it. In fear of this video getting too long, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.